My chops, yeah, there you go.
Chip, I know you a million years. I have to admit it.
That makes me pretty old, Alex.
So now, first of all, congratulations on your wedding.
How much appreciated is how many people get married on a rock ship. Monster rock
Married at
cruise.
sea. Right.
Absolutely.
So now, was that your first rock cruise?
It was a second rock cruise. Nuff played Monster Rock in 2013. Then I think we might have ruffled the feathers of Larry. But evidently, time heals all wounds. And he says, I want you guys back. I want you to MC it. So I MC'd in 2014 and then came on again in 2015 to help out with the festivities as well. Did all the ship cruises, announced the bands.
Oh,
It was
nice.
really nice. Wonderful
So
experience.
you guys had a good time on there with your honeymoon.
Yeah, hang out with all the great bands. There's tons of musicians. Tesla and the Winger Boys were great, and London Choir Boys. It was really a
When I
wonderful
was out
experience.
the year before, I noticed that a lot of people didn't leave the ship like me because there was too much going on.
Yeah.
But the wives all hit the beach because they all were seasick.
And that's where I like to go to the beach because the wives are there and I love trim. So it's always great to go to the beach because you're going to see scantily clad trim walking around getting a suntan. And does it get any better than that? I don't think it does.
So now, who is in your band and who is the white hot shit guitarist you got with that custom-made Fender?
Okay, my band now consists of Eric Donner, which is the late Raul Donner's son. Raul Donner was Robert Plant's favorite singer. When he got inducted in the Hall of Fame, he mentioned his father, how his big influence. He learned how to sing, trying to sing like Raul Donner.
Yes!
Or Raul Donner, I should say. Also, I have Tony Fennell from Ultravox playing guitar. Great guitarist, motherfucker player. Good to see you guys, Bullet Boys, coming in there. They're just finished up doing a bunch of cocaine. They're getting ready to go on stage and play right now. Real rock stars. And I also, on the other guitar, I have a guy named Tori Stoffergen and Stoffregan. He can announce it a bunch of different ways. Tori's been with the band for about 4 or 5 years. He took a little break, came back into the fold about a month ago, and plays incendiary guitar. Great singer. I made sure I found guys who could sing better than I can. Everybody's a lead singer in the band, and I went out, we rehearsed the songs, and I went back to the old material, the first couple albums, which were both gold records, and we picked stuff off the first album that debuted, Fly Michelle, New Thing, In the Groove, and then we picked stuff off Strength record as well, doing Heaven or Hell, and we've taken a ride. And there's some nice little nuggets in there, and we mix it up with a few cover songs. And
A little Bowie?
yeah, we did Bowie because of God rest his soul. Bowie just passing away. He's a big influence of mine. I've loved his image, love his music, great discography. And I think right now the band is really tuning up, get ready for this M3 festival. It's in a few weeks.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to a long and prosperous year. We just signed a new record deal with Frontiers Records. We'll have a new record out sometime in August or September. And there's wonderful opportunities happening right now. We're very blessed.
I think I have 10 CDs from the Blue Island, the Wheels. I have everything. The
Yep.
Chip and Donnie stuff. So now, who impressed you on the ship when you were out there?
When I was on the ship, there was all the bands that were really much. It was a strong tour. Everybody's got a great work ethic. You got 4,000 people on the boat. They're all big fans of all the bands. They love that kind of music. I think I was most impressed with the last tour. I really dug Winger. I thought the band was terrific. I thought Sebastian Bach brought a great show. Tesla, Frank
Did you go to Rush
and
Night?
Keith are a great combination. They're like Tyler and Perry.
Did you go to Rush Night in the black and white?
I went to Rush Night, checked that out. Yes, I did. I went to it was called Motor Bowie, where they played Motorhead and Bowie, a tribute to Lemmy. I sat in with the bands there and played with guys in Michael Monroe's band and Michelangelo, great guitar player from Nitro. And it was an incendiary jam. Great players.
My cover night.
Lillian Axe, great band. They were solid as a rock.
Steve is great.
Steve plays, great songwriter.
Now, on the tour I went in 2005, they had Alice Cooper night. They had Kip Winger, Damon Johnson, Kerry Kelly,
All the guys that play with Alice Cooper.
Jimmy.
A lot of people don't know that Kip Winger used to be the bass player in
The
Alice
girl
Cooper.
who sung backing was Cinderella Chantel.
Yeah,
She
Chantel's
came
terrific,
out.
beautiful pipes. Love
And
her.
the guys from
Kiefer might have been the best show out of everybody, and they were all real strong. But Kiefer brought his game top end. It's just amazing.
Kicks hold their own big time.
They're great every single night. You know, you can't say a bad thing about them.
And they put a little comedy in there.
I love Steve. I love Ronnie. I go back with Ronnie 25 years. Wonderful guitar player. Reminds me of like Joe Perry. He's got a great swagger. I love his strut. And just all the bands that really came out didn't come out and just mail it in. They brought a great show and some incendiary songs. Those are timeless songs. If you like that era of music, that's the thing to go to see.
So now, Monaco and your brother,
Great Donnie B.
what's your relationship with them like?
Yeah, relationship I think is good. Donnie right now is taking a break. He wants to do some solo stuff. He's been disillusioned by the business a little bit, which is rightly so, because we're talking about one of the greatest singers, in my opinion, out there right now. When I run into guys like Robin Zander or Steven Tyler, they hail Donnie B. He's a killer. Great writer, wonderful singer, wonderful performer. Miss him dearly. However, in Monaco, bring it for years. He came out, sang his ass off. Monaco wants a break. He said he needs a break from the band. And I decided I'm going to move on.
Favorite album's got to be for me, 1985.
I like the record. We did that record when we were kids.
Yeah, I know.
We recorded in 1984, finished in 85. It was holding up the couch legs of my bed, or on my front room sofa, because we scored a record deal with Atco Atlantic Records. A guy named Derek Shulman discovered us. Loved the band. And because of Doc McGee and a guy named Bob Brigham, they were kind enough to help support us and turn us on to a lot of different people that eventually were into the band enough to where they said, why don't you make a record? Made the record in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, and I've been touring ever since. I haven't taken a break once. I don't need a break.
I remember interviewing you for an album, and you were living across the school, across the street from a Catholic school, I believe, weren't you?
That's where Donnie and I came up with a lot of those songs. Coincidentally, Catholic girls obviously came from that whole era, and the Catholic school was fun moments for us, watching those girls walk around with their little plaid skirts on, and of course we were young kids then, so it wasn't very perverted. And we wrote those songs and we put them out, and we just did them. We were writing songs for ourselves. We weren't trying to get a record deal. We weren't trying to do anything except write some decent songs, some good pop songs, and maybe someone will hear it and might want to play it. And the radio station was in Chicago called WVVX. A guy named Ralph Rasmussen, and John Gorney, and they were kind enough to play the songs, and it blossomed from there. Found ourselves getting some work, opening for national acts, opening for Cheap Trick and BTO, whoever came through town, any big bands.
I find when I listen to a band today, either the singer screams or they play great, but where are the songs? It's got to start from a song.
We can appreciate those bands that are out there, and we call them cock rock bands. And there's no doubt about there's a place for them. However, for enough stuff, our influences were more Beatles and Elvis Costello, Queen, Cheap Trick, Sweet.
Did you read the
Badfinger.
Cheap Trick article in Rolling Stone?
Yeah, of course. I love Cheap
Where they
Trick.
said the Bay City Rollers were a competition.
We love the Bay City Rollers too. There were some great songwriters. I
So
love
now,
ABBA.
honestly, what did you say when Cheap Trick made the Hall?
I was real proud of them. Listen, this band's been going for 40 years. Rick Nielsen's like a brother to me. I love him. Tom Peterson's one turned me on the 12-string bass. Robin Zander, unarguably the best singer in rock. Bonnie Carlos, solid as a rock drummer. He reminds me of Mick Tucker from Sweet. No, it was just a great band, and these guys not only make great records of Cheap Trick, but let's not forget the other stuff these guys recorded, and most notably the Lennon record. It was great, Double Fantasy. They're wonderful musicians, and I consider them great friends, and I hope they feel the same way. And congratulations to Cheap Trick, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, quite a feat.
So now, you're playing a lot of gigs like this where you run into the same bands, the Bullet Boys, the Britny Foxes.
That's not by
Like,
choice.
Different nights, you turn up against different band, turn up with them.
Yeah,
on
we're
the
ready to
same
play with anybody.
bill.
We can go out and play with Lamb of God if we have to, or Guar. It doesn't matter who the band is. We go out there and play our songs, and we win them over, as you've seen tonight.
Right. So now, how is touring different now than it was in, '86?
Well, maybe it's more expensive right now. That's one thing, because cost of a tour bus and to fly, and gas prices, everything is tough out there. To get a tour, you need a budget. So in that way, it's tough. But the audience has still come out. There's a great crowd here tonight for this show. Last time we played in New York, I thought it was wonderful. Fans showed up. They loved the songs. Listen, if you're a band, you deal with the elements, okay? And one thing about Nuff is I've always admired our strut. Get out there, we play, we work really hard, sing as hard as we can. There's no tapes and sequence. There's no guys backstage playing. We're just us playing the shows. And I think with Guns N' Roses out on tour right now, that's going to help a lot. It's going to give another shot in the arm for rock and roll. And I'm hoping I can be a small little part of that.
So now, but is there any other differences that happen when you've gotten older?
No, that doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Trim is trim. I like the audience, and usually when the girls come out, the guys come out as well.
Right.
And we've been lucky enough to have some pretty good crowds all around the country, not just here, but outside of North America and over in Europe. And I think we can do good business in everywhere we go to be
So
honest
now
with you.
I saw you out there signing autographs, taking photos.
That's my job.
Signing autographs, taking photos. How do you feel about the bands that have these packages from souvenirs and money?
Well, I understand they're doing it. Like if you're Paul McCartney and you're going to play a sound check and you want to charge money for the fans to watch sound check, that's quite an experience right there to be and witness something like that.
But
So
what if you're
that's
not?
cool. But if you're just a regular band out there playing and stuff, I don't judge them. I leave it up to them what they want to do.
Did
For us, we
you
don't
read
charge.
the Dave Meniketti interview?
Yeah, I love them.
Where he says, look, I'm hitting you for a shirt, a ticket, you've bought my music, I should be paying you a few dollars to meet you at
Dave Meniketti, a quality rock star.
class.
I have nothing but respect for him. Classy
So,
cat.
a band that we've kind of touched on was like your Bowie stuff. What's your thoughts on the Strokes?
I love the Strokes. I love the
Sorry,
Struts.
Struts.
They're terrific.
I keep
Both
doing
bands.
it.
Well, I know the Strokes because we hung out together and smoked pot. Great band. It's a wonderful song.
Sorry, I am like dying in there.
Now, do you think on your first tour, you have an EP out,
Yeah.
you should be charging people to come back and
No,
get
well,
another
that, once again, I
You're
really don't want to
building a
judge the
fan
bands.
base.
I think you go out there and you work hard, and usually my grandfather used to say to me, son, if you go out there and work hard, the money will follow, and just leave it alone. I don't think you should be disrespectful because we're in a different day and age now with the internet. You click of a finger, you can reach hundreds of thousands of people. And it's up to you to build that fan base by playing an incendiary rock show or a concert, and then saying hello to everybody and kissing hands and shaking babies.
I
That's the most
saw
important thing.
Autograph play way back in the day.
Yeah, so did I.
This is like maybe pre-Van Halen tour. And I watched them work the crowd out of Army Air Force Base. And I said, if I ever manage as a band, they're all going to get guitar picks. They're going to go out and talk to everyone they can and get a guitar pick for the same reason that most people will never meet a band in their life. And you get a kid who comes out, gets a guitar pick, gets a minute with you.
It's an
He's
experience.
yours for life.
It's an experience they'll never forget. You leave an indelible mark when you do that.
And he will buy anything you sell.
You would think
for
so.
your life.
You would think so. I listened. A lot of kids came out today. We had a meet and greet tonight. It was real small, about 75 people, and everybody was so happy. They loved the show. They all got pictures. I signed all the CDs. I did everything I could do to make their experience a wonderful one and not forgetful. And that's all I want to do is I want to come in these places and just giving them a great rock show. And when we leave here, I want them to go, I want to see that band again. You don't get a second chance on a first impression. I'm lucky to be out here after all these years playing and still have an audience.
We
And I'm grateful
appreciate
to the
it, too.
fans. They mean a lot to me. And without the fans, there's no show.
Right. So now, before Johnny D kicks my ass because he put me on the guest list, and we go back further.
Oh, I love Johnny. I love Maduro.
And so let me just say, is there anything you want to say to our now on the internet hard and fast readers?
Yeah, absolutely. Alex, I love you. You've been around a long time. You're so resilient, and it's a blessing that you're still out there going to see all the bands. Everybody love you. You got a great reputation. I want to say to all the people out there that may the best thing that happened to you last year be the worst thing that happened to you this year. And I hope you all live to be 100 years old, and the last voice you hear be Alex. Peace.
Chips, as always, been great to see you.
I'm going to go say hi to the fans.